After Hours Agony, the drive-through attendant's perilous night. For nearly 3 years, the graveyard shift at the fast food joint had become my nocturnal domain, with me donning the role of the drive-through attendant. The peculiar hours suited my unusual college class schedule, making it a perfect arrangement for tackling daytime studies. Yet, the routine wasn't without its eerie occurrences, especially when the night wrapped the world in its shroud of mystery. Typically, my manager ensured 2 people man the overnight shift, a precaution against the bizarre incidents that occasionally colored the quiet hours. However, fate took a disconcerting turn when my main overnight companion, on vacation, left me solo for 3 out of the 5 shifts that week. The first 2 nights trudged along as usual, the drive-thru's dim glow witnessing only small and straightforward orders. Then came the 3rd night, when the air held an unusual stillness, as if foreboding something ominous. The initial hours ticked away with the usual trickle of customers, but around 2 a.m., an uncharacteristic break stretched for nearly 45 minutes. With time to spare, I donned the role of a lone custodian, donning my cleaning gloves to tackle the remnants of the night. As I navigated the deserted restaurant, the dim light casting long shadows, a peculiar sight caught my eye. Bright headlights pierced through the front window, illuminating an unexpected presence, a car parked right outside the doors. Odd, considering the dining area closed at 9 p.m., leaving only the drive-thru operational. Brushing off the curiosity, I continued with my solitary cleaning routine, attributing the halted car to someone perhaps seeking directions. The serenity shattered when my headset beeped, signaling the arrival of a customer. Hastening to the window, I greeted a softly spoken man, a request for a large soda on his lips. As I poured his drink, I sensed his gaze fixated on the restaurant's interior through the corner of my eye. Unsettling, yet not entirely unheard of, I handed him the drink and received exact change. A polite farewell echoed through the night as I retreated to my cleaning duties. However, a disconcerting twist awaited as I circled the front counter. The man lingered outside, his gaze piercing through the window, an unsettling persistence that sent shivers down my spine. The minutes dragged on, my unease intensifying, until he finally drove away. Determined to shake off the discomfort, I continued my tasks, the headset still on, and approached the front counters. A subsequent beep stirred my attention, but my inquiries into the drive-thru's mysterious customer met silence. Puzzled, I turned to the surveillance cameras, revealing an unsettling truth. The car, identified as the man from moments ago, lingered, bypassing the ordering station and halting near the window where I stood. Alarmed, I retreated, positioning myself out of sight but keeping an eye on the grainy video feed. A sense of dread took hold as the man, his actions unclear, suddenly pounded on the window with aggressive force. My heart raced, adrenaline coursing through me as I watched, unseen, from my concealed vantage point. Swiftly, he abandoned the drive-thru, parking menacingly in front of the front door. In his hand, something ominous glinted, prompting a surge of panic within me. Swiftly, I reached for the store phone, dialing 911 as the man aggressively shook the locked doors, his intent unmistakable. The siren's wail in the distance announced the approaching police, dissuading the intruder from further attempts. He fled, leaving behind a chilling uncertainty. When the police arrived, they ensured my safety, listening intently to my account of the night. Morning brought another visit from law enforcement, gathering evidence and seeking the elusive license plate from the surveillance footage. The outcome remained a mystery, and I was left grappling with the uncertainty of the man's intentions. Alone that night, I had unwittingly become the prey, and the encounter left me haunted by the chilling awareness that darkness harbors dangers unseen, waiting to strike when one is most vulnerable. Beyond Closing, a nightmarish tale of the midnight diner. In the dimly lit diner where I toiled as a server back in 2019, the routine closing hours unfolded with an air of normalcy, at least until the night everything took a chilling turn. The clock struck 10, marking the official closing time, But my shift stretched until 11 for the tedious task of tidying the backroom tables. Little did I know, the hands of destiny had something peculiar in store for me that fateful evening. After locking the doors precisely at 10, I delved into the mundane task of wiping down tables, seeking the solitude that often accompanied the end of a day's work. The flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows on the worn-out linoleum floor, adding an extra layer of peculiarity to the atmosphere. As I moved through the deserted diner, the low hum of the refrigerator and the distant rattle of cutlery echoed like ghostly whispers. But the eerie calm shattered when a sequence of loud knocks echoed through the silence. My heart skipped a beat, and my eyes darted towards the front door, where a man stood, an unsettling gaze penetrating the glass. I raised my voice, informing him that the diner had ceased operations for the night. Odd encounters like this weren't unfamiliar, but his lingering presence suggested an unsettling mystery. Persistently, I repeated my closing announcement, yet the man remained, an enigmatic smile playing on his lips. Growing more irritated, I approached the door, emphasizing the closure with exaggerated gestures. In response, he knocked once more, an eerie persistence in his demeanor. Annoyance clouded my tone as I commanded him to leave, but this time, his reaction was different. Tension gripped him, and he tested the door with a hesitant push before vanishing into the night. Confused and perturbed, I muttered to myself about the strange encounter. My focus shifted back to my duties, dismissing the unsettling incident as a bizarre encounter with a drunk or confused individual. Little did I know, the night had more in store for me. As I wiped down the front counter, movement caught my peripheral vision. The man reappeared, now pounding on the front door with renewed determination. Irritation morphed into fear as I realized his unsettling fixation. With a stern and loud directive to leave, I watched him tense up, testing the locked door again before finally retreating into the darkness. Relief washed over me, and I scanned the parking lot to ensure he was truly gone. Yet, just as I dared to believe the ordeal was over, a deafening crash echoed from the back door. Panic surged through me, unsure if I had secured it. The relentless pounding commenced, growing louder with each strike. It was a symphony of dread, an ominous soundtrack to my escalating fear. Realization struck, the back door was indeed locked, but the man outside showed no signs of relenting. Fearing for my safety, I sprinted out the front door, reaching my car in a breathless haste. The police were my lifeline, and as I dialed their number, I glimpsed through the restaurant window. The man, now emboldened, prowled through the shadows, exploring the entirety of the abandoned space. When the police arrived, they combed through the aftermath. The back door bore the scars of a frenzied assault, a grotesque testament to the man's determination. Astonishingly, aside from the battered door and a pilfered tip jar, the diner remained largely intact. The police absorbed my account, their expressions mirroring my disbelief at the lengths some would go for a meager reward. That night, the line between ordinary and chilling blurred, leaving me haunted by the realization that darkness could lurk even in the most mundane corners of our lives. The echoes of that night resonated in my dreams, the chilling symphony of knocks and crashes replaying, a ghostly reminder that some encounters, once brushed off as peculiar, could morph into something far more sinister. The diner's empty tables seemed to hold the lingering tension of that night, as if the very air within had absorbed the malevolence that had dared to breach its doors. Sleep became an elusive sanctuary as my mind grappled with the unanswered questions, the mystery of the intruder weaving itself into the fabric of my existence. Beyond the aisles, the haunting night shift at the pet store. In my 20s, the ebb and flow of life led me through the monotonous aisles of countless stores, donned in the role of a stalker, diligently replenishing shelves. However, the banality of this routine was shattered when I took a peculiar job at a pet store that would weave its way into my nightmares. Tasked with delivering and organizing merchandise across multiple locations, my daily journey involved driving a van filled with boxes, a routine that teetered on the edge of normalcy and chaos. The clock striking 2 p.m. marked the commencement of my nightly quest as I picked up the van, a vehicle laden with the promise of an ordinary evening. Little did I know that the mundanity of my duties would soon take a chilling turn, thrusting me into the realms of fear and uncertainty. The sun dipped below the horizon as I embarked on my journey, a solitary driver navigating the dimly lit streets in the small hours. The clock advanced, my van weaving through the city, a solitary vessel carrying a cargo of mystery. The pet store, my final destination, stood like a silent sentinel, closed for business hours ago. The clock read 11 p.m. as I pulled up to the back, a routine of stacking boxes looming ahead. The eerie silence of the pet store at this late hour added a layer of discomfort to my already fatigued senses. The night unfolded as expected, with the rhythmic routine of stacking boxes on shelves. Yet, the routine took an unexpected turn when a subtle thud echoed from the front of the store. The quietude shattered, and I stood frozen for a moment, a silent observer in a theater of the bizarre. The sound, a mere anomaly in the symphony of the night, prompted a momentary pause, but with no other signs of disturbance, I resumed my duties. The aisles, normally familiar and benign, now seemed to carry an unspoken tension as I continued my task. But then, a singular cough pierced through the silence, a discordant note in the symphony of the night. My heart raced, my senses heightened. The pet store, closed hours ago, should have been an empty shell, yet the echo of a cough suggested otherwise. Panic settled in, an unwelcome companion in the dimly lit aisles. The realization that I was not truly alone intensified the unease. Fear etched itself into the lines of my face as I strained my ears for any other sounds. My footsteps hushed, a nervous rhythm in the quiet store. Nobody should have been there, and the eerie encounter blurred the lines between reality and a nightmare. Taking cautious steps, I retreated toward the back door. My footsteps, normally a routine melody in the nightly solitude, now carried the weight of fear. Once outside, I secured the door behind me, the cool night air offering a fleeting sense of refuge. As I fumbled for my phone, the night seemed to hold its breath, anticipating the next unsettling chapter. Just as I dialed 911, the stillness shattered with a rush of footsteps from within. The man inside, previously hidden in the shadows, now revealed himself through the unsettling jiggling of the door handle. His voice, a mix of desperation and anger, echoed through the stillness. Adrenaline surged through my veins as I awaited the arrival of the police, each passing second an eternity in the grip of uncertainty. The man's violent attempts to escape intensified, a crescendo of fear echoing through the store. The operator on the other end reassured me that help was en route, but the sense of vulnerability lingered. In a strategic decision, I moved my van further away, keeping a watchful eye on the unfolding drama, the night's shadows seemingly thickening around me. The police arrived with urgency, their presence a comforting reassurance in the face of the unknown. I met them at the door, key in hand, the threshold between safety and the eerie unknown. As the door swung open, the tense silence of the store transformed into a confrontation between the officers and the intruder. In a matter of minutes, they emerged, the man now in handcuffs, a sizable knife confiscated from him. The strangest part of this surreal encounter continued to gnaw at my thoughts. The man, armed with a knife, had hidden in the store without a clear intention to steal anything. His menacing presence, devoid of apparent motive, left me grappling with unanswered questions. The mere feat that separated me from potential danger haunted my thoughts, a chilling reminder of the thin veil between routine and unexpected horror, a night etched into the chronicles of my life as a bizarre and chilling tale.